time shot, it's time shot. I'm in the place where my friends are, and I know together we'll go far. Yeah, time shot, it's time shot, and I'm still doing things the time shot way.
Hello, people. It's Poe, and we're back in TimeShot. Finally, back in time. We're back in time. We've gone back, and we're changing history. Now, today, I feel like I need to keep you guys updated because, for all big life events, I feel like I need to keep you guys updated. And me and Win are now looking for a house. Now, this is something that, we're not super actively looking, but just for fun, every now and again, we do look, and we found one recently that we really like. Just in we look maybe once a week at what's around and what's available, and we always add some to our favorites. And this time we added one, and we were like, "Wow, this is like a dream." This one. So, I mean, we gotta act on it. We gotta look at this. So we went and looked at it, and it's really great. So, I've been dealing with banks, with lenders, with realtors, with all this kind of stuff all day long. They're probably gonna call me in the middle of this recording. I've been putting off this recording all day, mostly because of the fact that they've been calling me all day. And it's crazy. So, I want to talk about a few things, a couple of the struggles that we're going through right now, while I bring some of these resources to Addy's mini games area that he's working on. Boop. There we go. We need to figure out this hub. We need to figure out this hub right here. Do something with it. Get it done so that I can finish my tunnel there once and for all. It's maybe a project I'll propose to a few people. I don't know. Anyway, so okay, let's start at the beginning. The fact that I'm Canadian. Yes, I am still Canadian. I might live in the US, but I am still Canadian. That'll actually never change, but right now it's very apparent because I don't really have a status in the US. I'm not here illegally. I am here legally on a visa, which is a entry permit, basically. We got married, and then when you get married, you file for what's called an adjustment of your status to make me a green card holder. I won't be a citizen. I won't be a U.S. citizen. Not for 2 years, but I will have at least a permanent residence legal in the U.S. Okay, but in the meantime, I have a U.S. bank account, I have a U.S. phone number, and all those types of things. I'm almost a U.S. citizen in all ways, but just without the ability to vote, essentially. And one of the biggest things that got me, okay, looks like I've got... Nope, no extras. There we go. Full double chest of packed ice. Looks like he might have 2 other chests. He's got a bunch of empty chests, so I don't know what else he's working on here, but I threw in a full double chest of packed ice. Had better be enough. There's hardly that much packed ice on the entire server. I was at Wynn's grabbing some packed ice on an episode that you'll never see. And I grabbed most of the pillars around, and that's what I got. So he's got it all. I hope he puts it to good use. I'm certainly not going to use it in the near future, so he can have at it. Anyway. Okay, so that's... I explained to you the history of me coming to America and all of that. And now you know, my status in America. I'm just waiting on paperwork to basically just, be called American. In the meantime, we're still looking at buying a house and getting approval of this. And like I said, my credit, this is something that I didn't know. I really honestly didn't. And it's not like it's something that you learn in school. It's not something that you expect to need to worry about. But everybody has credit, okay? Maybe you don't. Well, no, not everybody has credit. This is my point. You have to build credit. In order to apply for things like loan, sometimes you need good credit if you're going to be having certain jobs. If you want anything that requires a investment on a company's part, like maybe you are working with a phone company and they need to know, well, should we give this guy a phone? Will he be paying us monthly? Can he afford to pay us monthly? They do a credit check. So credit is very important. And the absolute best way that I've found to build credit is to have a credit card and you put on like, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks a month on this credit card, like a super low number, even less than that if you want. And you build up your credit that way. You use your card once a month, 20 bucks, pay it off right away, like that same day. And showing, number one, that you're using credit. Number two, that your spending ratio is low, so only like 20 bucks. And three, that it's paid off on time, immediately in my case, is all really, really super good things for building your credit, okay? So that's all part of it. It's all part of me building my credit up and doing that. Now, I've been doing that since I moved here, which was September. So we got September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That's like, what, 8 or 9 months ish? Let's say 8 months, because not all of September anyway. 8 months I've been building my credit, and if you talk to a bank right now, I still don't have any credit. Like it just takes so long to build up. It can't be done overnight. Usually, if you were born in America, you would have credit from things like maybe a rent payment, maybe you've owned a credit card before. For me, I've never owned an American credit card until now. And it's usually something that you take care of when you're fairly young in life and you build up with time. Like I've owned, in Canada, yikes. In Canada, I own a house. I've been paying it on time every single month since I owned it. Never missed a payment. Car, I own a car. I paid off that car in full. I have credit cards. They're paid off. Like I've got credit in Canada. In the US, it doesn't transfer over. They don't care. They don't care if you've ever owned a house in Canada. They don't care. It's not part of it. The US credit. US credit is something different. And it's tough for me because I gotta kind of try to convince banks that I make money. I have a full-time job now, which I think that also goes a long way to proving my worth. What am I doing? What is? Okay, so this is like that too. This is wrong. Then 2, and this is wrong. 2. Okay, and then that can just fill in like that. So that's as high as it is right now. That's gonna be higher though, I think, because I don't want to. Not that I'm gonna be traveling on the side, but don't want to bang my head on the sides either. I want it to be just the same height as up here. I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm going off on a tangent about building this railway here, but anyway, back to the topic at hand. My Canadian credit doesn't follow me to the US. So despite me owning a house, paying off credit cards on time and bills on time and car on time and student loan on time and all that, they don't care. They don't care. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. And you can't really prove that because they do a credit check and nothing comes up. So you really just can't prove you're worth anything, which is tough. It's really, really tough to have to deal with because I'm at the point in my life, when you're in college and you're building up your credit and stuff, or even younger than college in some cases, you've got all the time in the world. It feels like, your parents are helping you out. You got family around, or at the very least, your expenses aren't going to be humongous, because you don't have, it's not that you don't have a life or anything, but it's not like you have humongous life decisions to make, and you're not really usually in the market for a family home, for a wife and 3 kids. But here I am, this Canadian, in that exact situation. So it's it's super frustrating to be then told by a bank, well, you have no credit, so we can't do anything for you. And for me to say, well, look, I have a job, I have money, I can pay, I don't know what other kind of proof you want. And they've just fallen into this almost a habit of only looking in one place for the information, the credit reporting bureaus in the US. And if they don't show anything there, well, then we really just can't help you. And they're not going to spend the extra effort to go out of their way to help you. So again, it's very frustrating. We actually even had someone from a bank the other day whisper over the phone to try a different bank because their bank was so inflexible. Surprising that, someone who works at the bank has to whisper to us, oh, if you want to get this loan done, you need to talk to another credit union or something because our bank can't help you. It's sad that that's the case, but that's the case right now that we're going through. And yet I am able to at least talk some people's ears off and be told oh yeah, we should be able to help you. We see, what you've done, what you're earning, what you've got, and surely that's going to be enough to make it. So it's just a matter of convincing some lender somewhere in the world that I will be able to afford this. Now, I think also part of it is that because I am technically not a U.S. citizen, it comes up, well, then what are you? And it's well, I do technically have a green card, technically, but nothing on paper that says I have a green card. In fact, the way that it works in the U.S., and it's so dumb, is that, okay, so you get your temporary green card to go into the U.S., like I did, and I got married to Win, and that's great. But that was temporary. And technically, once you enter the U.S., that is expired. That is done. That is gone. Once that's gone, how do you convince someone, oh, no, I am really here legally. I am here legally. Please don't punish me. I'm just waiting for some forms to clear. But they don't give you a status. You are basically without status is the term for it. You are without status. And that's just it. I mean, that is just it. And I don't know how to convince banks that that's a okay thing to be. It's very difficult for me to do. I have found, and I don't want to lie to them either, and say oh yeah, I'm here permanently, because there's a 1 in a million chance that oh, your application's denied. Well, I guess you're going back to Canada now. I know that that's not going to happen. Everybody else knows that's not going to happen. But when it comes to okay, well, let's then just give you a a 5-year mortgage or something, oh, there's a possibility that you're not going to be in the United States, as low as that possibility might actually be. Well, maybe we should take a step back and look at this application here. Maybe we should take a step back. Hold on. And it's that kind of mentality right now that lenders are having. So I'm finding it very tough to get anything done. And Wynn's credit isn't the best, I'll be honest. I won't give you the details, but it's you know, we were struggling for a very, very, very long time, and that struggle, it hurt some of our credit and stuff. So let's see here what the ceiling has to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tall from bottom to top. So I think right now I'm dinging at 5. Okay. So we can't really use Wynn's credit either. So we have like, oh, you have one of you has not the greatest credit and the other has no credit. Why are you guys even here? 4, 5 is this one actually. I was right. I shouldn't have filled that in. So again, it's all something that we're dealing with right now. But that said, with luck, with a lot of luck, and our fingers are definitely crossed. I've been speaking with realtors all day. We've looked at the house twice now, and it's looking really good towards possibly buying this house, or if anything, buying a house. Worst case scenario, the bank told me that in about 6 months or so, after a full year anyway of using this credit card that I have, building my credit as much as I can, after a year or so, I should be able to show, oh yeah, this guy has really good credit, then you can get a house. But that would delay things for about a year. And we are fed up with where we're living right now. We are done. We want to move so desperately, so badly. So I really hope that we can get this going. So there's all that going on right now. And the other thing going on is actually kind of semi-related, in that it is related to my immigration. And like I said, you know, it's hard to prove to banks that, hey, I am here legally and I am here to stay. On that front, I haven't even told Wynn yet, so I'm kind of whispering a little bit. She's in the other room. She can't hear me. I got approved for an appointment. I got approved to prove myself. But that is a huge step, guys. You have no idea. It's been about 5 months or so since I applied, and this was the final application process. So if you've been watching TimeShot for ages and you've heard all of my rants about immigration and all this, all of those previous times were what me and Wynn were going through together, the application we did together, the fees that we had to pay that you guys often really helped out on through donations and through your support through Patreon and through subscribing on Mixer for both me and Wynn. All of that was sort of like the first phase. After I moved here, I did the second phase pretty well all on my own. Wynn she wasn't involved too much in that. I had time. I just did it. And it took a lot of effort. It was a lot more forms. There was another like $1,000 fee again. It was actually 3 separate applications. So it was a lot of work, a lot of stuff. But I did it. I did it on my own. And I've been waiting for 5 months, roughly. 5 or 6 months? Yeah, it was about 5.5 now. I've been waiting, for all of this stuff to clear and come back. And now they finally came back and said, yes, okay, you have an appointment. Congratulations. No wrong info on your forms. We're ready to come to the interview. We'll go to the interview, and I don't know where. I think it might actually even be in Detroit, which means that we'll have to travel 3-4 hours. I think it's about a 3.5 hour drive or so from where we live to Detroit. I told Win, we're going to take it easy. We're probably going to just buy a plane ticket, a real quick hop, skip, and a jump plane ticket, not even our flight. Just so that we don't have the added stress of, being on the road for 3.5 hours and then having to go to an interview. It would be kind of crummy. So we are probably going to be doing that if it's there. If it's somewhere in this city, then, piece of cake, we'll schedule time and do that. But that is a huge step. And then I'll actually be authorized to work in the U.S., and I'll be authorized to transfer my current job, which is Canadian-based. It's Canadian job, Canadian income, paid into my Canadian bank account still, and that's all going to change to the U.S. side of things. So looking forward to all of that, and then that headache is gone, and then you can just it'll be easier to claim on my taxes and things like that. So finally we're getting there. So those are the two major things going on right now. And I honestly, that's all that I really needed to talk about as I continue to slowly dig out this massive tunnel. One thing I like to do recently, I wanted to remind people to follow me on Twitter. If you're still here, then you're definitely a candidate to enjoy my Twitter content. I've been trying lately to build up my Twitter following more than before. And I asked in one of my dinosaur videos, I think, I made mention of this. And over the last couple weeks, the amount of people who have followed has times 10 the normal. Usually I get one follower a day type of thing. And all of a sudden I was getting 10. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So you guys have been coming out in droves. Want to kind of reiterate that again, that if you want to be involved with my Twitter account, it's the only place I would be announcing things like live streams that I might be doing in the future, any special UHCs or patron or fan events that would be going on, I would list there. Things that are just going on in my life, I list there, and then other fun, silly stuff I might list there too. So it's a good thing that you're following me there for all the latest info. It's always been the kind of place for all the latest info, and it's immediate. You don't have to wait for a video to be recorded, uploaded, published, all that. It's all there. So check it out. Follow me there. It's twitter.com/poetplays. And I've also been adding these little tiny blippy things to the videos themselves to remind people to follow on Twitter and all the other places I create content. So yeah, it's always a good thing to do, and I appreciate those who do. It's good to do, and I appreciate the people who do. Other thing I like to do is remind people of the games that I've been playing lately. Now, I did this in, I think, the last TimeShot episode. I would like to do it again. It's a very quick list. I think the last episode, I can't remember which Wolfenstein I had just beaten, but it was the prequel to the first one. It's hard. I don't know how else to say it there. It's called the Old Blood or New Order. Which one's which? New Order or Old Blood? I don't remember. But it was Wolfenstein 1 expansion, okay? I played that. I beat that. 4.5 hours it took me on Steam. It was a good game, but I was like, it was kind of a little short. But it still geared me up for playing Wolfenstein 2. So I picked up Wolfenstein 2. I played and I beat that. Took me about just over 9 hours. I think Steam says like 9.1 hours is what it took me, which isn't too shabby, I feel, to beat a AAA title these days. AAA titles have been beaten in about 10 hours roughly, I usually say. And this one took me 9.1, so I'd be willing to round up to 10. Because I did skip a lot of the extra content that I could have gone through. So that was a fun game. I've kind of stopped playing This Is the Police. And I'll get to the reason why in a second. And I've also I picked up, I finally started playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And I know that probably doesn't sound extraordinarily fun to some people. Car Mechanic Simulator, you're thinking like, what the heck? Why would I play that? But lo and behold, years and years and years ago, I actually used to work in an auto body shop, and fixing up old cars has been my passion for years and years and years. It's something that I enjoy, and doing it in digital form, I thought I'd give it a shot as well. I thought I'd give it a try. The thing is, though, that when I played Car Mechanic Simulator, you do everything like a auto repair shop would do. So like a brake replacement, brake pads and rotor replacement, wheel balancing. You do new exhaust, timing chain replacement, battery replacement. You know, you do the works. And you'll have missions like, hey, my car won't start. Could you take a look at why? And you have to diagnose why it won't start and then fix the reason it won't start. Okay? So that's sort of the game. And after playing it for several hours, I would say over 12 hours I put into it already. I could be wrong. I could be like not even half that, but it feels like I have. It's all part of it because playing that game, it started to feel like work. Like once I would play that game, I'd play it for a few hours, I'd turn off the computer and be like, oh, I feel like I just worked an extra shift at work, like another 8 hours of work. Like it feels like I've just been taking customer complaints all day or something. It's just so bad. So I stopped playing that, but This Is the Police was sort of like that as well. Like your whole job is managing a police station and the police officers and stuff. And at the end of the day, I always felt like, oh my God, I feel like I just worked another, several hours shift. This is not good. This is not what I want. So I kind of stopped playing that as well. Me and Jake, I don't know how he convinced me again, but we started playing TF2, Team Fortress 2 again. It's a free game, and they've added tons of content to sort of compete. You can tell that it's competitive to like Overwatch, in that they've added a competitive mode and they're adding way more effects and hats and items. It's definitely trying to remain valid. And it does a good job of it, though. I mean, I've been enjoying that, so me and Jake have been kind of playing around with that here and there. And then the only other thing that I'd probably put on my list of games that I think that people should check out and that I've been playing and interested in is Pixark. It's so good. It's really fun. And I feel like it's not getting the notoriety or the credit that Ark ever did, or that even Minecraft got, or things like that. It deserves it, though. It's a really great game. It's solid for being just released by a company notorious for releasing unfinished products. It's very solid. They've added already several new features within the release to help out people, content creators, and players alike. So I think that people should definitely give that one a try if you haven't already. However, it is, I think, on the expensive side for a pixely game. Might be willing to pick it up on sale, but hold off on the full price. Other than that, I think that's about all that I wanted to talk about today. And yeah, now you guys know my struggle with the whole, finances thing. We're fine as far as finances go right now, but it's proving trust to a bank is almost impossible because everybody's afraid that you're gonna default on the loan and just run away, and especially in my case, go back to Canada and never show my face in the U.S. again. They don't want that. They don't want to have to deal with that. So convincing them that that's not going to happen is so far one of the most difficult things in this whole process of me moving to the U.S. And at the end of the day, maybe we just have to wait and give it a year, and that's that. We'll see. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. Check me out on Twitter. That's again twitter.com/poetplays. I'm surprised at the amount of people who have not followed me there on Twitter yet. Maybe it's just, haven't thought about it, haven't considered it. Please do. And we'll see you guys next time on TimeShot. Bye-bye.